Hey, everybody, I am Kevin Iole. Welcome to Yahoo Sports. There is a huge fight on Saturday. A unification fight is always good news in boxing. There's actually a couple of them on either coast. There's going to be some good ones going on. Women on the East Coast and on the West Coast, we have a fight that I have been looking forward to seeing for a long time. And I know my next guest has wanted this fight for a while. Shakur Stevenson is going to fight WBC super featherweight champion Oscar Valdez, a fight he's wanted for a while. We got it now at the MGM Grand on Saturday on ESPN. Shakur, how you doing, my man?
I feel good. I'm in shape and I'm ready to fight.
You know, coming off a huge win over Jamel Herring, not that it was that big a shock that you won the fight, but I think, you know, how you dominated him was, but to me, I think this is the fight that can really take you to the next level. You know, I've been saying for a while, you're the guy in boxing that could be the next pound for pound king, the guy that could be the next dominant one, and you need that foil. And I think Oscar Valdez might be that guy for you. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Valdez is an undefeated fighter. He's a great fighter. I don't take none away from Valdez. I know that he's gonna come 100% trying to win. So I definitely see my career skyrocketing if I, go in there and do what I gotta do, and that's what I plan on doing. So.
You know, he's got a 77% knockout ratio. I think 23 knockouts in 30 fights. You know, some people who maybe don't know boxing will look at your knockout ratio and say, well, you can't punch. But I think when a guy is attacking you, that might be, isn't that a warning to them? Because now you're going to be able to get those counters off and you're a very accurate puncher. Do you feel like that is guys that attack you are kind of the ones you're better against?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I just disagree with that. Certain fights you have nights where you get the guy out of there, and certain fights you don't. Oscar Valdez never faced a Shakur Stevenson. He's never been in the ring with nobody like me. It's a code that he has to crack.
Right.
That's in his brain right now. He know he got to crack a code, and I think that's very hard to do. So I'm not thinking about who punched the hardest or who got the better knockout ratio. I'm thinking about the code that he got to crack. I gotta go in there and beat me, and let's see if he can crack that code.
I mentioned in my betting column, you know, comparisons to Mayweather and Corrales. I mean, going into that fight, everybody was talking about Corrales being the better puncher, and Mayweather went out there. And I kind of see, you know, from my standpoint, I see you doing that same thing, breaking him down, landing. You know, your punching accuracy is so good, and that's something. It seems like you have always been that way. Do you feel like that's something that you're not getting credit for? How accurate of a puncher you are, and how good you set your shots up?
Yeah, I definitely don't get credit for that. A lot of people, even if they say I don't got no power, I be stopping these guys and hurting these guys, and you don't never really just see nobody walking through me. Like, you don't see fighters go in there and try to walk me down, and then by the third, fourth round, they kind of hesitant and they sitting on the outside trying to figure out what's going on. So, I don't. I definitely don't feel like I get the credit I deserve when it comes down to that, because these fighters be feeling what be going on in the ring.
Shakur Stevenson is right now the number 9 ranked pound for pound fighter in Yahoo Sports. I don't know where anybody else has you ranked. Does it bother you that sometimes, you know, people don't give you that? Like, you know, it seems to me like coming out of the Olympics, you had that huge platform of winning the silver medal. And that, you know, a lot of times when guys win in the Olympics, that vaults them and they become these huge superstars. It's taken you a while to get that recognition. Why do you think that is?
Man, I guess it got to do with the big fights on the names, and I feel like with Valdez, he was the perfect person to skyrocket my career. So at the end of the day, um, I see myself as a top level fighter in the sport. But after this fight, I think the whole world should see me as the same thing. So.
What was your, you know, you were sitting ringside when Oscar Valdez fought Miguel Berchelt and he stopped him with that incredible hook. I ran over and talked to you almost immediately when that was over, and I saw the look on you and your manager James Prince's face, and it was kind of interesting. But what, you know, tell me what you thought of Valdez's performance against Berchelt, because that was his biggest fight up to that point, and specifically what you thought of the ending of the fight.
I thought it was a great performance as long as he wasn't cheating. After that fight, he got caught for cheating. The very next fight with Robson, and I just feel like, you know, he may have could have been cheating. We never know. So it all comes down to that. If he wasn't cheating, it was a great performance. But if he was, it was a cheating performance, and I don't feel like that's gonna be into play come this fight. I think Vada tested me the most Vada ever came this fight, and I believe they did the same thing with Valdez. So
You're sure he's clean, but I mean, I know Floyd used to say this all the time. I'll beat them whether they cheat or they don't cheat, right? I mean, don't you have that same attitude? Like, hey, you know what? I'm better than they are. Cheating, putting stuff in your body doesn't help you.
I love Floyd. I'm a big Floyd fan, but he said that, but didn't fight Pacquiao because Pacquiao wouldn't take the test. So he might have said that, but at the end of the day, we both know nobody wants to get in the ring with a cheater. Everybody, we want a fair fight. Everybody wants fair and square. If you're a fighter, you want a fair fight. Nobody wants cheating in front of them. I think that's something hard to deal with. You know, I love Floyd, but I gotta be real.
Yeah.
It took him a long time to fight Pacquiao, and it's because Pacquiao was accused of cheating, basically. So we just, you know, I agree with him. I understood why the fight took so long. So
Sure. I want to ask you this, Shakur. You know, I mentioned before, I think you're one of the guys that could be the successor to Canelo or Bud Crawford, whoever you want to say is the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. I think you have that ability, and you've had that for a long time. Does that put pressure on you to live up to expectations? People are out there expecting a lot of big things from you, and do you think that when you hear that, you think of the pound for pound guy like Canelo's doing now, carrying the sport, fighting all these big fights. Does that put pressure on you and make it difficult to, focus on what you need to do?
nah, I think pressure either bust pipes or make diamonds. And I don't look at anything like, oh, I got a lot of pressure on me. Long as you do what you're supposed to do in training camp and everything, I feel like you're supposed to go in the ring and do what you've been doing in camp. Go do what you've been doing. Don't get out there and freeze up just because there's a lot of people. I try to tell myself I don't see them. I don't even see them. I smile, keep it moving once we get in the ring. You know, all I see is the person in front of me. So I try to tell myself this is another day in the office. I try not to think about anything that puts pressure on me. I don't care for it. I'm not putting pressure on myself. It's fight time. You're in a fight. You've been boxing your whole life. You got to go do what you've been doing your whole life. I don't care who's out there. It's basically you and the person in that ring. He's trying to kill you and you trying to hurt him.
The NFL draft is this week, and a lot of the big NFL stars are going to be in town. And I know those guys like fights. So I wonder, number one, any friends of yours that play in the NFL that are going to come support you at the fight, and what will it be like? You get a chance to fight in front of some of the, the other best athletes in the world, right? To show how good you are in front of guys, that may come to the fight.
It's definitely a good having some NFL people come check the fight out and just performing in front of amazing athletes also. But I don't really know too many NFL people that I could say I know coming to the fight. So.
All right. Well, this is this. How do you look at this? Is this your last fight at 130? If you win this, you go up, or do you, have you even given that a thought yet?
Right now we focus on Valdez. We know Valdez in front of us. You can't look past Valdez and think about what's going on next. I would like to win all the belts at 130. I don't plan on moving up.
Oh, good.
But I'm still focused on Valdez. Like Valdez is my main focus. Saturday, we got to get past Valdez for any of that to happen. Because if I lose to Valdez, we won't be talking about undisputed or anything like that. We'll be talking about Shakur lost.
How about money? Because this is going to be the gateway to you for, I would think, a lot of money. If you perform like I think you're going to perform, like a lot of people think you're going to perform, all of a sudden, you're going to be in a different tax bracket, right? You're going to be writing a bigger check to the IRS. That has to be motivating, and you got to think, what's out there, right?
Yeah, that's a big motivation. I know for a fact that Top Rank, and I hope they see this interview, they're gonna have to pay me a lot after this fight. I deserve a lot of money after this fight. I am the superstar of Top Rank, and I think with Tyson Fury retiring, calling quits, I feel like I'm the next big fighter, big superstar on their list, and I think I should be paid for that. So
Todd DeBuff, the president of Top Rank, I'm sorry, but I just got this guy a raise here, so we got to take care of him.
I need that. I deserve it. I feel like after this fight, I deserve it. I feel like I'm a superstar. So let's just, focus on Saturday, but they better be prepared after Saturday. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll throw this out at you just to get your take on this. I covered Floyd from the beginning of his career till the end. And at the beginning of his career, he was considered, quote unquote, not a draw, right? Couldn't sell tickets. Obviously, at the end of his career, he was the best draw of all time. From your standpoint, do you feel like that's the next level you got to get to, like filling up the arenas, selling the, you haven't done the pay-per-view yet, but filling the pay-per-views and that type of thing? Is that the next level for you to climb?
Yeah, most definitely. I gotta become a pay-per-view superstar in the sport. I gotta fill out the arenas. I gotta do whatever it takes to become that superstar. And fighting people like Valdez is a perfect way to do it. I feel like Valdez is a great fighter. This is a big, big risk. Like this
Yeah.
is a risk on my career, on his career, and we are both taking the risk. So I think we deserve the respect for getting in that ring and doing what we're doing. But I'm a risk taker. Scared money don't make no money when it comes to me. So I ain't scared though. You feel me? we gonna take that risk, man.
Well, let's wrap it up with this. As I mentioned earlier, I remember seeing you right after Valdez knocked out Berchelt, and you immediately said that was the fight you wanted, right? But I know you doubted whether it was going to happen. When you finally heard, hey, Oscar's going to sign, Oscar's going to step up, what was your reaction?
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I got a call. I'm laying down in bed with my daughter, and I'm like, huh? Valdez gonna fight me? No way. I believe it when I see it. And then we got Bob Aaron on the phone, and he kind of put the stamp on it, like, yeah, you and Valdez is next, basically. I'm like, okay, so once they said it was gonna happen, I've been calling for it. I'm not the type of person that's gonna call for something just for the media or the fans. I'm like that at the end of the day. So it's gonna be what it is. So I signed the contract, he signed the contract, let's work.
Can't wait to see it on Saturday at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on ESPN. You'll get to see that young man, Shakur Stevenson, do his thing. I think he's going to do a great job. Going to be a hell of a fight. Shakur, best of luck to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.